Welcome to the Chromaniacs, your weekly look inside San Diego FC and MLS. I'm Craig Elston, joined by my Chromaniacs, Tony Sanchez and Alex Pena for episode number 24. What's going on, Tony?
Oh, well, it is exciting to be here. Very, very nearing the next phase of San Diego FC. There's news to cover. The rain is making it feel, I don't know, playoffy? Is that a thing? Like, we've never done this, but it feels like it. I like it. Alex?
It definitely feels like a playoff match coming up and a little bit of Minnesota weather coming with it. So I'm still grateful that we're playing in San Diego instead of Minnesota. But yeah, that's good for us. Good weather on Monday.
Just gonna say, Monday, 68, chance of precipitation, zero. Chance of Minnesota weather, 0. Come match day, which will finally be here. Monday Night Football for the first time ever at Snapdragon Stadium. And not quite the way that San Diego State University imagined it, but the way it will be. San Diego FC, Minnesota United FC, Western Conference semifinal one match, winner take all. We're here to talk about it on episode number 24 of the Chromaniacs. We're also going to have another episode of Voice of the Supporter. He's harder to track down than, I don't know, Waldo. Where's Waldo? Where's Brockhoff? The proud father of 3, Steve Brockhoff, the president of the Locals, will be joining us on Voice of the Supporter. He'll join us a little bit later in the show, and then we're going to dig all the way in. We got Training Ground Sound from Mikey Vadas, from Amal Pellegrino, from Luca Bombino, who's here for a while now. Part of the discussion topics we're about to broach here on the Chromaniacs. We'll get into all the match. We'll get into the ins and outs, the tactics, and how we see it shaping up before we wrap things up. Thank you so much for being here. We deeply appreciate it. Episode number 24, but I believe it's the 37th different show, counting our post-match shows, that we're bringing you in a half year of soccer so far. We didn't start until June. So thanks so much for everybody who's gotten on board the train. Really appreciate it. If you're watching us on YouTube and can hit that thumbs up button, just go ahead and do it like now. Boom. Hit it. Thank you. Appreciate it. It does help, believe it or not. The engagement, the comments, they also help feed the algo. If you're listening to us on podcast, as more and more are, if you can drop that 5-star rating, that is really helpful. If you can write a quick review, it helps as well. We're small content creators. We're doing it to grow this show and to help talk San Diego FC in an independent and fun and engaging manner. So thank you for being along the ride with us as we embark on episode 24. Okay, guys, let's start off before we get to Steve with, big stuff here. And you start things off with a couple of young men that have really shown well. Hang on. I'm going to not contradict myself. I was going to start with Bombino and Verhoeven, but let me first just start by putting a cooling saucer underneath any of the tensions that you may have. Tony, what was the word out of Singing Hills today regarding the availability of Chucky, Lozano, and Anders Dreyer for Monday's semifinal?
Both are fully available and will be available for selection, as Mikey Vara said, for this upcoming game, or specifically the selection part with Chucky Lozano, because again, Amal Pellegrino is that starter, so he is available for selection. Both players are ready to go, as per Mikey Varas.
Man, that's good news.
Yes. I don't know about you, Alex, but when I saw that picture of Chucky holding his hamstring and getting subbed out, I thought, oh, is that it for Chucky for the playoff? And to be honest, I thought the answer was yes, probably, if you're holding your hamstring. But thank goodness that was not the case. And whatever this wound up being was precautionary in terms of Chucky.
Yeah, and we already seen him get those muscle strains in the hamstring, already a couple times this year. And we don't need that as we're going off and facing Minnesota United on Monday. So good news. I mean, it maybe, just a little pull, nothing too serious. And he came out as a precaution. So that's really good news. And Dreyer too, just a little flu, FIFA flu maybe, and just hopefully just a couple days. He just needed to regain his strength, and he's good to go.
I don't get sick too often, Tony, but I could imagine a way that I would be to play a playoff match, fly to Denmark, be in a completely different climate and in a completely different environment playing, and then having to come back out. Like, that's a great way to get sick. So the good news here is that you had enough time for recuperation. Of course, the better news will be in a couple of seasons when you don't have an international break in the middle of your playoff.
Yeah, 100%. It was a bug that was going through the Danish national team camp. And so it just happened to land on Honors Dreyer, and, having him available, whether or not it's at a 100% with a little tickle in his nose, maybe it's that way. But, I know a lot of soccer players that play better and are more focused when they have a little something, not necessarily muscular, but seems like all green lights for Honors Dreyer. And so you can expect your newcomer of the year to be ready to go. And for Chucky Lozano, look, we talked about it last episode. This is what Mikey Vadas has been preparing for. Your second runner-up for Coach of the Year, Mikey Vadas.
Distant third.
Distant
Like
third. Way. And look,
Not
Philadelphia.
going to let him forget it.
Again, let's just throwing this in there. He's currently under investigation. And, who knows? Who knows if they had some extra juice into this year and their happenings with that. So interesting stuff happening around MLS. But as Mikey Vada says, let's focus on SanDiego.FC.
Okay.
That's what they do.
Because I was going to say, tell me more.
Well, I mean, Alex, please, because I know I can tell Alex was like, oh, those dastardly.
So did they steal someone's TAM? Did they mess with a GAM?
Oh, it's much worse than
fan?
that. No, more of a racial stuff going on with the technical director over there, and some misogyny, maybe.
Okay, throw it in.
Yeah.
Huh.
Probably.
The best people, huh? Okay, well, let's see if that union holds under the weight of its strain.
Yeah.
But that is not for us to deal with. We can deal with the rest. Let's go back to the kids. There wasn't really any question that Luca Bambino would have this sell option activated, right? I mean, I'm thinking, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm thinking that SDFC has a great situation lining up where they can ride him this year, next year, and the abbreviated sprint season 2027, and have him available for purchase to a European club primed and ready to go in that first aligned international transfer window. I think the kid's destined for Europe at some point, but I think SDFC might be able to get 3 seasons out of him thanks to that sprint season.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. The little shortened 2027 season that's coming up, and yeah, it seemed like this was going to be automatic. I think whatever happened with Bombino this season, I think he was just someone good to have. You don't really have these kind of players coming up through your system just yet, so I think the buy option was going to be automatic no matter what happened this season, and it turned out that Bombino was a gem, a complete gem. What a find by Tyler Heaps, Mikey Varas, and yeah, he's had just an incredible season on both sides of the ball. He's been amazing. In what a find, and I do really hope that I'm kind of with you, Craig. I think he can last a little bit longer here. He's still under his homegrown contract, which pays him around $80K, but I think they could turn that into contract number 2 for him. Maybe an extension. You kind of prop up that value a little bit, and maybe he's here maybe a year longer than he should, just kind of growing and developing. He's still 19 years old, so he still has lots of room to grow. But yeah, of course, with players going to Europe, you want them as young as possible. But yeah, I think he still has a lot to grow, like fill into his body a little bit, and because yeah, it's going to get physical if he's trying to go to a championship side, English Premier side, or Italian side. Like that's a physical type of environment. So I think that's kind of where you kind of need to see Bambino grow, is just the physicality of it.
Yeah, and look, there's still time for that, but this is one of the players that you're going to want to put that tracker on the back of their back, kind of like you do for some wildlife, and just see how they navigate through their migration patterns.
Uh-huh.
Bombino's that prototype for a player of like, hey, this is what's going to happen with these young prospects that come through San Diego, and maybe not originated from San Diego himself, but you're going to be able to put that track and just kind of follow his career and what that pipeline is going to look like for future right to dreamers through San Diego and the academy. And when these 13-year-olds turn into a ripe age of transfer fees and all that good stuff. So put your GPS on him from now on, but for right now, he's in your backyard, San Diego.
And you just gave me this visual of he's walking out of Singing Hills and somebody grabs him and clips his ear. What was that? Oh yeah, do you see it's got a little 18 woven in symbol on it? It's your SDFC tracker. You can take that wherever you go.
Was it Angel on Fox where they had the barcode right back? It's just a little.
Oh yeah.
Boop boop. Sent from. I mean, listen, we're just a couple of years from that for Amazon anyway, so got it. So for Luca Bambino, big success over, and for Oscar Verhoeven as well. Just feels like because he's had a lot less time on the field due to injury. But the time he was there, he certainly showed well enough to the club that they're going to enact the sell option, and by in doing so, right, further constrict their optionality for future seasons. They're banking on these kids, Bambino and Verhoeven. Why wouldn't you? And Dua alongside, right? Why wouldn't you, for how well they've shown so far?
Yeah, that's a young back line right there. And another great piece to add, Oscar Verhoeven. He just adds depth. Plus, he's right now, he's currently on the supplemental roster. That means his salary doesn't hit the salary cap. So yeah, it's just good depth to have. And yeah, he's been a fine player when he's out there, but I think for him, he's going to be in a competition for that right back role. With him, maybe they bring some other guys in the offseason to kind of compete with Verhoeven, but another great pickup, and just hoping for the best for the next couple seasons that he's here. Yeah, I like the move. And again, it's an obvious, buy option that they picked up.
Yeah, and there's that level that you can clearly see if you put these two players to the eye test, right? Similar trajectory, similar age. Bombino and Verhoeven, just the play styles too. And this is another just marker of how good Bombino is, because I do want to point out that I think Verhoeven is a little greener than Bombino, and sometimes he wears that on his face a lot. If you watch the broadcast too, like he'll keep up with the players, but just physically and the body language is that of, man, whoof, here we go again. Like, all right, where Bombino just kind of carries himself a little bit more elegantly throughout the match. And I think that's something that with time, right? That's one of the aspects of these young players too, is they're not meant to have the battery that Luca Bombino showcased. They're not meant to go 90 minutes plus for so many games and have so many minutes on that young body as it's still developing and growing into the defending aspect of a player. You see it with San Diego Wave and somebody like Kimi Ascanio, who, yeah, it's the football IQ. You can, in soccer IQ, you can just put them wherever and they're going to do great. They'll figure it out. But I think Verhoeven is in that track too, to learn a little bit more at his pace. But when he's done developing and growing, it's going to be comparable to a trajectory for Bombino if he's able to really look at his potential and fulfill it. And
you could also see in the different values of both guys, right? From the front office standpoint, Bombino up to 900K if certain metrics are met, and Verhoeven is at 350K if just straight up GAM. And yeah, you could see why LAFC kind of threw that in there for Bombino, because it's like, well, if he makes an all-star, if he's this type of player, is that we want more out of this deal. And I for what it's worth, however much GAM they paid, I think it was worth it. It's an incredible fine, plus, and I know LAFC gets a certain percentage out of the future sell, but SanDiego FC does too, and that's going to be big for you keep growing and bringing in more players like Bombino.
And for
Yeah, I mean,
sorry,
go
but
ahead.
I just want to say for what it's worth, Craig, just on the side of this, San Jose and LAFC hate that these players are actually succeeding for San Diego. So for what that's worth, in the California race and just like bragging rights with Pellegrino, Bombino, even Cisniega a little bit in there, and Verhoeven, you're upsetting San Jose and LA fans, because they're looking at their front office like, what's going on? Like, how? Like, they were here and now they're not, and they're still in playoffs. We're planning for Coachella. We're actually looking. Their news this week was looking at the schedule that was released, and wow, that looks great for next year.
Yeah. Well, and really that big if then GAM increase in the trade deal, that's their hedge bet on Bombino succeeding. Right? That's them saying, well, it's a shame we had to let him go, but at least with that, if he's good, we're going to get enough to feel like we can say at the end, yeah, no, we knew he was going to be good. That's why we put this in here, because we were going to get that almost, I think it's up to $900,000 is where the GAM allotment goes. If that happens, and that's a lot of GAM, let me tell you. So with that, two young guys sorted, Chucky and Dreyer are fine. I would talk about the layoff for these teams, but it's the same for everybody. Everybody had to take this rest. Some clubs, not Minnesota, but some clubs had a week on top of it because they won in 2, and in retrospect, having 1 in 3, it's better than having 1 in 2, as long as you didn't take an injury, because you got to have another match. You got to keep your form, have that dramatic win at home, and you advance with fewer weeks off. But the equality of it just makes me suspect, guys, that what's going to suffer is not any one individual team. They can blame it on the layoff, but it's like the old song, "Blame It on the Rain." Like it's about as far as it's going to go. What's going to suffer is just the overall quality of play. That's the nature of it. When you take time off, it's going to be a little bit more disjointed, at least at first, at least maybe.
Mm-hmm. Go for it, Tony.
I mean,
I saw you.
No, yeah, it's a work in progress, and I think what SanDiego FC has been showcasing and their intentionality is really showing through. And you know what, I at this point in the year, I really see this team just getting A's across all their grades, and that's included. And I think at the end of the day, look, the team is coming together in the front office. The city's coming together, and look, it's incredible, especially as an example for the rest of the league. Like, there's giant moves happening in the rest of the league, and other teams are paying attention to what San Diego's doing in moves like this, and this is going to be the new normal. I mean, you're starting to see shades of Don Garber no longer being in MLS, perhaps, and these are monumental moves that for the league that you never thought would have been possible in year 1 through 30, but here we are, and it's the first role here in San Diego, and it's been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Before we get to, go ahead, Alex.
No, it's been great, and I hope we keep this going for another match at Snapdragon.
Not on
Wouldn't
Monday.
that be nice?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Somebody was worried that if SDFC won on Monday, that they would play on Friday, the final. I'm like, there's no way.
No, you need like a certain number of days, right? That's how it works. Off.
I would guess they play on Sunday.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, Sunday would make sense.
I mean, looking even forward, if New York wins and San Diego wins, it's a home game for the MLS Cup final. on December 5th, and there's a game that weekend for San Diego State.
Yes.
So and
What,
not
the Mountain West Championship or something? What? I thought their season
I
schedule was over.
think there is. I think there's that potential that the Mountain West Championship would be on that day.
Yeah.
But I heard the rumor of the Mountain West Championship would move to Petco Park. Yeah, I heard that rumor. And San Diego FC will
Who's
be
in the
at
boss
Snappy.
seat now? My, how the turns have tabled.
Yeah. That'd be interesting to or
Yeah.
it could be the other way, which wouldn't look great. But
SDFC is not playing.
that wouldn't
MLS
look great
Cup
at all.
Petco Park.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't look terrible, but it would be super, super weird.
Have you ever seen soccer at Petco? It looks weird.
It's got
I-
to, right?
Cholos
Uh,
America.
Cholos,
September-
I saw Chivas there back in 2010, I think.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, New York played in Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium,
Right.
yeah.
Like that's sacrilege, but
I mean, it wasn't even a regulation pitch
no.
at Yankee
No.
Stadium. It was like a short pitch that they got an exception for.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So we're not going to worry about that because it would be the West Championship movie. I just think that's absolute gold. That's gold, Jerry, gold. The 2026 schedule is out. So show me Messi. Where's Messi?
September
Oh.
20th. Right in the
He's
middle square.
At
Yes.
At Miami.
come
The
on.
Nope. The rendering is not going to happen this year.
That's right.
How many years do we get this chance? Probably won't play him at all next year.
He's only
It'll
got
be the-
2 more years, right? And on that extension, 2, 3. I don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna happen for San Diego.
MLS, throw a dog a bone. What did SDFC have to do?
Have
I mean,
have Hyungmin Son on their team because
guess.
LAFC. He's gonna play in LA at the Coliseum.
Of course.
Yeah.
LA bias wins again.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
But
They
it's not
get
about-
messy.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's just not going to happen, guys. I'm terribly sorry.
the rendering.
The rendering is cursed at last.
It's one of these things like in San Diego sports history, it's the first time where like the rendering is accurate, as in there's the stadium, but the things happening in the stadium are not accurate. If we did the stadium part, we did the hard part.
The pointing guy in the low corner of now he's just the same. You're not there. What a
Well-
shame. What a shame. What's going on with Chucky and the defender next to him? What's going on with that guy? What's happening there?
Yeah.
I mean,
Is he suffering a cramp?
well,
He took him down.
he's ready to simulate a being stepped on, trying to get a card back. The kids in the front row are just mesmerized with Messi. They're not even looking at the action. Like
Mhm.
they're like, wow, the ball is all the way to the left. Yeah.
AI is a real laugh riot. Some of these people. Not going to get too hung up on it. Sorry. Let's look just briefly at the rest. Obviously, this is an off-season topic, but
Mhm.
Montreal, okay. Montreal to get things started.
I
The
mean,
Quebecois stand with their own.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. Obviously, if you look, we got 2 very early and then almost a month off for home games.
Mhm.
Then the 11th to the 25th. Portland comes in early instead of late this year. LAFC, that's a big one. Saturday night, LAFC, May 2nd. That's going to be great. There's
Yeah,
a
we're-
circle one.
We're not gouging prices for that one.
oh yeah.
Austin in May, Cincinnati. That's a quick turnaround. Wednesday and Saturday. After they play Saturday, they go Saturday road, Wednesday home, Saturday home. Oof, tough one.
And this is just the MLS schedule. You also have to add in the Champions Cup and the Leagues Cup to it. So it's going to be a pretty busy first 3-4 months for this squad.
Wait, so there's Leagues Cup again?
Oh
And
yeah,
then on the other side would be Messi. So you're saying there's a chance?
It was a Leagues Cup rendering. We didn't know.
Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's in the day. Like, it's already something's weird. It's in the daytime. Like, yeah, no, 100%. Like, it still might happen. Hey, let's finish the season up. Let's finish the season up in Vancouver. Why not?
Yeah,
Away
sure.
Or
well,
LA.
that's indoors, right? Vancouver, at least. That wouldn't be the
Yeah.
worst place to go. I'm thinking about a summer trip to Portland there. That's a Wednesday though.
Wednesday
Yikes.
game.
At least it'd make for a cheaper flight, I guess.
Yeah.
You can look at it that way.
Yeah, you can make it. Yeah, you can make it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
At
want to go to
LAFC,
Orlando?
Saturday, August 15th. So 2 Saturdays for the LA versus San Diego matchup. That's the one you really got to focus on, I think. A little more road heavy in the second half than in the first half of the season, just looking at it visually. But you finish at home against Sporting KC, November 7th. February 21st to November 7th, the schedule that never ends.
Yeah, and the 2-month break in between starts after the May 23rd, picks up back on July 22nd. That's for the World Cup. So 2 months off is we finally got that answer. And another thing, man, SanDiego.FC fans, I was trying to click on this link and I couldn't do it. The website was down. Everybody wanted to go see the schedule as soon as it was posted, and I couldn't look at it. I had to wait until like a couple hours later. I was like, I'll just come back, or someone else is going to post it for me anyway.
Well, plenty more time for analysis as the years go on. Oh, hang on. Here's just one last one. Sunday, September 13th. That could be the return of he who shall not be named.
It's a home game too.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Duke
fun.
is coming to San Diego there, Philadelphia Union. So
maybe with or without their sporting director.
Who's to say?
True.
Who's to say? Very briefly, because I know we got Steve Brockhoff lined up now. I just wanted to note, and putting up this graphic reminded me, the one thing we didn't put in the rundown we should have. Kudos to MLS for canceling the paywall and having all of next year's MLS and all of the playoffs. It already was, but all the remaining games going forward simply on Apple TV, not Apple TV plus you got to pay $100. I don't think it was the biggest deal in the world to do it, but it's way better not to do it, especially when you're dealing with $1 trillion tech companies. Like, why does all the soccer fans have to throw $100 of logs on the fire on top of that? You guys are a $1 trillion company already. You've got the rights. Give the people the games. So, for Apple users, getting Apple TV is ubiquitous and easy. For people who aren't Apple users, it's obviously a pain and super irritating. But at least they've taken the paywall question out. So now a couple of my talk radio host friends who whined about it the whole year, that'll be done. I don't want to have a paywall. I'd watch, but a paywall. Like, okay, well, no paywall. Go watch.
It's a good product too. Apple TV does the game well. Like if that's the preview of what a World Cup coverage, just the camera, the angle, just the way that it's shot, like I'm pretty happy with that. Like, as a soccer fan, like even on the app, like Apple does a good job. But yeah, I'm glad that they also did away with that.
And it never made sense in the first place. It's like, well, why do I have to get this other thing on top of my Apple, TV subscription? Like, it never made any sense to me. It was like, oh, I gotta pay for this. Like,
Right.
All right. So yeah, it's gone. And hopefully this opens up a lot of doors for MLS and people that want to watch.
With that, let's move to Voice of the Supporters. And guys, we got him. Steve Brockhoff, the president of the Locals SG, is joining us on Chromaniacs 24. There he is.
Hey, Steve.
How you guys doing?
Doing great, Steve. It's good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you guys. Yeah, thanks for having me. I know we tried to connect on this a couple weeks, but I got a newborn and now I'm a dad of 3, so I'm keeping myself pretty busy.
I think your couple has to set the record, yourself and Lydia, for the youngest peanut brought to a supporters section.
Oh my
All
goodness.
time.
5 days. Yeah, it's actually pretty funny that, well, Bryce, back in the Loyal days, Bryce was 2 weeks at his first Loyal game, the very first home Loyal game ever, that preseason match. So he was 2 weeks, and then Leona was born, my daughter was born 2022, September 2022, and she was exactly 1 week old when we brought her to her first Loyal game. And it just happened to work out that my new son Russell, he was born on a Tuesday, and there was a match on a Saturday, and my wife and I decided to bring him. So he was 5 days at his first game, and yeah, so he can always say his claim to fame can always be he was the youngest one at a soccer match so far. So yeah, it was pretty fun. It was honestly a trip to have him there.
You don't have to try to breach your record.
We don't know. We're not even sure. He's so young. He's so little. But honestly, shout out to my wife, because she's like, I don't want to sit here. I don't want to be bored. I want to go. So she was the one who kind of pushed it. And it was really fun. It was fun to bring him, and especially the tailgate. Introduce him to all the friends we've made through the year. And he's a little peanut, and he did great. He likes the noise, so he did great.
Unbelievable. I just said you don't have to try to break your record, by the way.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's breakable. 5 days is that's about as close as it gets. We got home on Thursday. We were out of the house to the match on Saturday. So yeah, it's about as good as it gets.
I mean, I met you when you had 0 kids, right? And that's kind of the progression, and just how all of us have kind of grown here in San Diego, and now with the culmination, in a sense, with the MLS team and what it took to be here, and now, like, it's something that you and I talk about, Steve, constantly, of like, hey, like it's here, like this is what was spoken about, and it took those long hours and long days, and guess what? Year 1 is still not over. But what's that?
No, it's wild. It's cool. I mean, like you guys were saying before I got on, that the schedule next year is February to November. That's just a regular season. So but it still feels like that away trip to Galaxy was like last year. It just feels like so long ago. But that could also be my year. But yeah, it's been a good time. I mean, from my experience and the locals' experience, there's definitely some awkwardness and a little bit of a bumpy road. But at the same time, I kind of ask myself, I go to these games, my family goes to these games, our members go to these games, and I continue to ask myself, am I having fun going to these games? And my answer is yes. And I enjoy going. I enjoy seeing people. I enjoy meeting new people, new supporters. It's been a fun year. It's been a kind of a weird year, but it's been a fun year overall for sure.
Yeah, how are you liking? Because I know you you're one of the OGs. Started following Loyal. What's been like the biggest thing that you noticed from those times to now? I know the section is pretty much packed,
Sure.
every game, and but what are some of the things that you see in the section?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Tony and Craig, also OGs there from day one. Craig dancing in the stands, I'll never forget. That's shout out to you. But I was talking. It's actually pretty funny. The last couple SDFC matches I've been to, Loyals come up a lot with just people talking about all the days and what was it like before this, and people were like, oh, you're one of the OGs, like. And it's I guess it's nice to be recognized, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter, whatever. But the more I talk to people, the more I kind of came up with this comparison. Like, Loyal was 4 years, and it was like college. Like, it's like the best 4 years of your life. Like, you met your best friends. You're going to be friends with them for life. You created this family, and you well, every weekend was a party. It was like kind of like a house party, like with all your best friends. It was like really intimate, but it was like so much fun. It wasn't like this like big rager. It wasn't like going to Gaslamp every weekend, but it was like still like you felt like home. Like you felt like every weekend you saw your best friends, and it was just like the most like it was like the only thing you wanted to do. It was the highlight of every weekend you went to. And then in transition to now, and obviously the awkward transition, and maybe you guys will ask me, we'll get there, but now it's more like Gaslamp, PB, every single Saturday, and that's fun too. They're both fun, right? I mean, I don't get me wrong. Before my kids, and even if my parents watch my kids, I enjoy going to like Gaslamp and PB and like going and having a good time. But also like, especially looking back, I miss college. I miss those house parties. I miss that. I miss those days. I miss like the 109. I miss the Coronado pre-games. I miss that stuff. Like it's definitely a different perspective. It's just different. I'm not going to say it's better. I'm not going to say it's worse. It's just different to me. And I like them both. Like this is a ton of fun. You have that north section is gnarly. It's so fun to meet new people and to see the support that, yeah, part of me goes, oh, I wish we had it back then. And you can always play the what if game, but at the same time, you just go, that was what it was. And that was a part of my life that I cherish and I love and I miss so much. And then this is also a fun part of my life that I enjoy with my family and I enjoy with our members and our new members and the people that are still around, like Craig, like, you come to every tailgate, you come to every match and we stand next to each other, sing together. Like it's still fun to have that experience with you and continue that forward. So it's definitely different, but I enjoy it, but I also miss those days too. So it's kind of like this complicated thing, and I'm not sitting here like every day I miss it. I'm not sitting here every match. I'm like, oh, this is way worse than it was. Like it's just different. It's just a different experience.
Well, I think you hit on it though, Steve, on this topic, which is that it's not a zero-sum situation.
Yeah.
In all honest truth, and I've said this so many times, if Andrew had kept the club going at Loyal, I would have kept going.
Mm-hmm.
I would have kept going to Loyal. And I think a lot of people in locals would have kept going to Loyal and would have found a way to go to both. And if they were in conflict with one another, would have made a choice on that day, on to which that they were going to go to on that day. So, unfortunately, Loyal shut down. And, because of that, we move along, and I love your analogy. I love that college analogy because that's how long it was there. So, unfortunately you can't, I guess you can go back to college, but you can't go back to that feeling though.
Right.
And that feeling was the germination for what this is, but now continuing it down the road, I know that from the days of Soccer City, like
further back. Yep.
Honestly, Tony just brought it up a little bit earlier as you were, before you got on the show, but and so did Alex, that in a circumstance where the Mountain West Championship is played this year in San Diego and it conflicts with the MLS Cup being played in San Diego, MLS Cup is going to be played at Snapdragon Stadium and the Aztecs will play at Petco.
Yeah.
They won't get their home field. So I kind of feel like Soccer City won in the end.
Yeah, tell that to all the Twitter trolls back in the day. I remember those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was not a time that I look back on fondly. But Soccer City for sure. But the Twitter stuff was gnarly. Yeah, I guess going even further back than Loyal, I was involved with Soccer City. That was a 2017, 2018 timeline. But you're right. That's kind of funny that you put it in that perspective that MLS Cup would kind of take precedent, and it's kind of wild to think about, especially given all the history there. But I look back on those days fondly too. Obviously things didn't work out the way that Soccer City would have been, and I also look back and say, well, then Loyal wouldn't have happened, and that would have that was so much fun. Like I would trade those years for nothing in my life. But yeah, the Soccer City days, I still have OSG scarves. I still have a handful of those in my attic that I threw in there because I'm like, one day somebody's going to want to look back on these and say like, 2017, that was our first MLS campaign. And it was kind of cool to kind of get integrated and involved with the Soccer City campaign and with obviously with OSG. I met Daryl Biggs back in the day through American Outlaws, and then he was really involved with soccer, so obviously Craig, and then I know that he had some conversations with a couple of folks who had started the Soccer City stuff. I got kind of connected with him, and I got involved, and I got kind of integrated with that, and then from there, kind of Loyal was born out of the failure of Soccer City, and from there it's history, and here we still are. It's kind of wild. What, almost 8 years? Yeah, basically 8 years later, 8.5 years later, almost.
Yeah, no, and I mean, in all of it too, maybe even catch 22s and aside from all of this, we all knew the eventuality that San Diego deserved and needed an MLS team, and more than anything, that may have been at the cost of something that we all kind of loved and united upon, but MLS is here, and for the locals, that was in of itself a choice to keep going. And so, if you can just kind of take me through what that transition was early in the season, moving into where the locals are now in terms of maybe that relationship with the club or just the decision to overall continue as a supporter group in general.
Yeah. So I'll back up even further. That back in at the end of the Loyal, the last year of Loyal, we had gotten some wind that MLS was coming ahead of the announcement and all that stuff, and some of the talks that we had with Loyal back in the day was that things were looking good between the MLS team and Loyal, and obviously the dream for us was a FC Cincinnati situation where the team goes up, and I know it's not a pyramid, so it's not really pro rel, but the team is kind of bought and goes up to MLS. So the soul of the club goes up. And just speaking personally, I would have been okay with the Loyal name not being a part of that. I just wanted the soul of the club, carry the history forward, quote unquote, buy the team and continue it forward. Tell the club, tell the supporters, tell the fans that what we've built over the past 4 years. And I say we intentionally, that I know we were a big part of that. And Craig was, Tony was, we all were, everybody was, we all built that thing. And that was something that was incredible and meant a lot to a lot of people. So that was the dream, right? And we had gotten some word that things were going well, and then all of a sudden things didn't go well. So it was very awkward. It was a very awkward, time for us. And at the time we had a core leadership, group, we kind of voted and decided to stick this out, to give it a shot. There was the 2024 year, the last year that, there was nothing, but it was kind of like the Chrome Ball tours and that kind of stuff. And kind of over the years, over the year and even early in 2024, I will say, and I obviously publicly, that I think SDFC, they stumbled a lot. They had a rough period where they made a lot of mistakes, and I think that a lot of the people in locals leadership back in the day were giving this a shot and wanted to be a part of it, but then mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, it was just I can't do this. I can't support this team. And honestly, I completely respect it. I love every single person that's ever come through Loyal or locals and Loyal, but back in leadership, back in membership, I hold nothing against any single person that has made a decision to not support this team. I completely and fully respect it. Loyal was a huge part of who we were. It's a huge part of who we are. And if you just look at the facts, if you take a 10,000, if you go back to 10,000 feet, SDFC killed Loyal. And that's it. It hurts me to say, and it hurts me to say that I still support SDFC, but I'll get there. But I completely and utterly respect it. So it was a very awkward year of who's still in this, who still believes it. And I think that the people that, in my perspective, and the people that maybe share this, is there's nothing we could have done. We did our very best. I did everything that I could as a supporter and as a leader of the locals to build something that was unignorable, that this SCFC could not ignore, that we contributed to Loyal in a way that SCFC couldn't ignore when they came to town. And just because things didn't work out behind the scenes, and I know some details of what happened, and I don't know, I'm not going to say it because I'm not sure that it's true, but my point is whatever happened is out of my control. So I'm just speaking for myself. I can't control that. All I can control is what I do, and this is my city. This is my community. I feel like I can put a stamp on that. I feel like I represent members who still believe and share that same philosophy. So that's where my perspective comes from, and I think my family's perspective comes from, is like, I have nothing to do with what happened between SDFC and Loyal. But I also completely respect the people that just go, I can't support them. I can't give them my money. I can't go to games. So there's definitely an awkward period, an awkward transition through 2024, and then into this year. Obviously, like, I'll back to 2024. Sorry. Like, there's a lot of leadership meetings, a lot of like new supporters coming around, new groups, and I met a lot of great people, and like I think I said before, like, part of me goes, where were you guys before? Like, come on, we could have really built this thing to be like bigger than Torero. You know, we could have outgrew that, but at the same time, that's a really slippery slope. So I'm trying to, I've tried not to let myself go down that path, and just I respect them for being here now. They're here now. You know, they're being a part of this. They're growing the community. They're here to give their time, just like I have, and so I respect them. And through that process, I've met a lot of great people. We've built this thing. The relationship with the club, like I said before, was pretty rocky. Now I think it's a lot better. I've had to take a bigger step back because of my family, but I think that at first, I think we brought a little bit of like, no, you stand up to the club. Like, this is kind of like, they don't just tell you how things go. Like, we're allowed to say, no, we want it this way. What you guys say isn't just religion. Like, this is a two-way street. You need us and we need you. This is the way things go. And I was proud to bring that kind of early on in the process. I think that as it grew, it became a little bit more strong. And I think that that's a really, really good thing. And I think it's great now from that perspective too. But then at the beginning of this year, in the season, we had a lot of members come to games, and things were strong. We're still a smaller group compared to a lot of the bigger, you know, the primary groups or whatever you want to call them. But we've got our own little pocket, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of our little community. You know, we're a couple rows deep, but I know we go strong. And I think that we have our own little space here. The group that was, you know, the groups that was the OG, right? Like, and there's plenty of OGs in Chavos. There's plenty of OGs all over the place. But like, I'm proud of the little group we have, and I love going to games and seeing all the people there. So
Yeah, and for me, it's great to see you and the rest of the locals still out there in the supporter section. And this kind of brings up a question, and a little bit going back to what you said about it being like Gaslamp. I saw, you know, I heard the fire marshal was there. I heard, you know, some people had to get like bounced out because there was too many people in the section. How do you feel, you know, about the, you know, I guess the logistics of it? And, you know, do you feel like, should it expand a little bit? Should it allow more, you know, take over a couple more sections to the left, to the right, you know, to add more people? Or do you feel like it's fine the way it is?
it's complicated, right? I mean,
Mhm.
yes, I think that the north section should just be the supporter section, just like say LAFC, they have a wait list. Like, they're not like wrapping around the stadium. That's not how it works. That's not how Dortmund works. That's not how anywhere works in the world. Like, I don't want the supporter section to wrap around, but it's complicated, right? Because I think that, you know, it gets into this, like, what's a true supporter, and this gets into a little bit of the drama between what some of the groups and us had, like, last year with, like, oh, you know, like, what's a true supporter, like, going crazy all the entire time. But then I want to bring my friends and like introduce them, and they're not going to go crazy because they don't know the songs. But like, but then they're not like singing, so that it's a little bit of an awkward period. So like, I don't know. Yes, it needs to be better. There needs to be some way to police it. There's so many people there that don't that are just there for a cheap seat, and it's really, but like, how do you distinguish that versus like people who are checking it out and like want to be a part of this and like are introducing themselves to it? You know, for example, I think it was not last match, but the match before, people in front of us, they had an SDFC jersey on, and it had the number 10 and it had Messi on the back, and I'm like, what is this about? Like, that, you're not an SDFC supporter if you have Messi 10 on the back and it's an SDFC kit. Like, number one, why would the shop allow that? Number two, like,
Sure.
what? You know, I'm in all the leadership chats, and I like texted all the oh, the leader's like, I'd like to report a crime. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this isn't in the supporter section. Like, come on. But I'm not. We can't have security police this kind of stuff. I'm not gonna look at jerseys, but like, it's the mentality, right? People want to be a part of the fun. People see that, they're like, oh, how fun is that? I want to go be a part of it. But then if they're not willing to provide or like be a part of it, then they're not adding to it. But at the same time, if you're new and you're trying to become and like introduce yourself to it, then we don't want to kick you out. Like it's just this kind of awkward situation. I think it kind of happens everywhere. I'm not sure there's a perfect solution. The best solution is probably an LAFC sort of thing, and I hate saying that because they're our rivals, but where they take time, and it takes time to get to the point where the season ticket holders all understand the expectations, and there's a wait list, and if you get a seat, you're expected to do something. But yeah, the hope is that we grow into, instead of opening up supporter section tickets to the public like we have even the last playoff games, it's all season ticket holders, or it's all SG members, or Frontera members that are getting tickets and additional tickets. It's not any public that are just getting there for cheap seats or being part of the fun or whatever. So it does get, we've been quote unquote in the back before, and you're standing on the rails and you're waving a flag and people go, oh, get that out of my face. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like that's not what this is about. You guys need to, if you want to watch the game, you go somewhere else. Like, you're here to provide a service kind of a thing. It's not about, sure,
100%.
you can watch the game. You can watch the game, but you're expected to miss some of it, and that's okay. It's part of it, right?
It's literally, and I'll always go back. I think Jerry Jimenez said it to me the best, and it's what I always repeat to others, which is that a fan is somebody who goes to watch the game, who buys merchandise from the team, who listens to podcasts, who watches every game, who travels sometimes to watch the team, and gets into the game and is absolutely into it. That is a fan. That is great, right? A supporter gives up the game to create energy for the club. And your job is to create that energy. And how many times I have not seen a goal or have barely seen a goal at Snapdragon Stadium. It's more than I saw. I'll tell you that for sure. And if the right guy is waving the flag next to you, you might not see anything sometimes, but that's the way it goes because you're a supporter. You can go back and watch the match, but the energy can't be recreated. It's a live creational event that we do for recreation, but it's about creation. So that's the difference. A fan is there to enjoy the game. The supporter is giving their energy to the match.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you can go to a Padres game and watch the game all you want, but you'll never experience what you experience in the supporter section. Even with Loyal in 109 or any of the supporter sections here, it's completely unique to the sport. And it's something that's it's so much fun. It's just the energy there it's second to none. So yeah, it's perfectly said. Even the 4-0 game, the last game against Timbers, I think I saw one goal. The rest of them, you're standing up there, I'm singing, I'm chanting, I'm trying to get people energized. It's part of it. Like you said, Craig, every game I go home, and the next day I turn the game on, or the extended highlights or whatever, and just try to catch up on how people played and that kind of stuff, because you miss so much of it. Sure, there's been games where I focus more on it because I'm interested or whatever, but you give and take, right?
And I love the context that you're giving, obviously going back to Loyal and everything, because it's not necessarily to bring it up again. It's just to give that context of like, this is the people that have been on it since day one, putting the work in, and now you're here. So I kind of also just want to, with that context and knowing how much it means to you, to your family, to everybody involved, and everybody who you're welcoming in this year. There's been moments where I've just seen you genuinely enjoy yourself as well as the locals. So tell me, what are some of those moments or instances this year that you just kind of point and you're just like goosebumps? Like, this is like, holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a couple. Definitely at Galaxy was a lot of fun. I think especially because back, I think it's probably it was either 22 or 23 when Loyal played the Open Cup game there, and then we had the game there at Galaxy opening the season, and you go, oh, this is kind of a cool little moment where you say, well, Loyal played here for Open Cup. Yeah, we lost, but it was still like so much fun, and then we had the game there for the MLS team, and you go, well, yeah, this has been a while. This is pretty cool. So that was definitely one of them for sure. The home opener was definitely another one. Just with the awkwardness, I wouldn't say it's goosebumps, but it's just kind of like a still here, drinking a beer in the parking lot with all the new supporters, the new family, the new what we were all building together. That was a lot of fun too. So there's definitely been a handful of cool moments this year for sure.
Well, one last thing, and we'll let you go, Steve. But I just think, for me personally, speaking about, I love that question from Tony about reflecting on moments of fun. Like it's unique. I see you. I see your lovely wife, Lydia. I see your 3 kids, including a couple week old now. And I see your dad all the time. And you guys are all together, sharing these moments, sharing these experiences. There she is. Sharing all of this together. And I just it's one of those things, do you ever put a pin in it, and go, wow, we've got this as a family.
Yeah. I mean, that's been a lot of the year, and it's hard to say one moment, but I think I've taken a big step back a couple, at most games, and just gone. Yeah, I mean, my dad comes to these games with me and my family because he loves to see the kids. My dad, to go way back, my dad and I grew up going to Chargers games. My dad and I season tickets for 17 years, from 2000 until the day they left. So my dad and I has always enjoyed soccer, or not soccer, but sporting events together. So when Loyal came and he knew I was so passionate about it, he bought season tickets. And then when this was coming around, he bought season tickets with me. And yeah, it's a lot of fun with the family together for sure. But with everybody, it's just a ton of fun.
It's just so cool, generationally, to see. You've got it all going on in the same row at Snapdragon Stadium. It's just it's special. It's really special.
Yeah,
Steve, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys for having me on. I'm glad we can make this work. I'd be honored to come on anytime, and I really appreciate it. What you guys are doing is great. You guys are dear friends to me, so thank you very much.
No, thank you, Steve, and all the best to all the Brockhoffs, and we'll see you on Monday.
We'll see you Monday. We'll be there. We'll be there at the tailgate. Come on by. We'll have some hot dogs. We'll have some beers. Yeah, swing on by the tailgate. We'll be in the section. Find us. Find the orange flag. It stands out.
That's the plan, my man. We'll see you there.
All right, man. Cheers.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, everybody.
There goes Steve. That is a key, by the way, is to make sure that your hot dog to beer ratio is on point. I committed an error at the last game, and I didn't have enough hot dog, just beer. And then how, I don't know about you, but, and I'm 53 now, but you hit a trigger point, and then you're like, nope, I now have to pee every 10 minutes for the next hour. I'm going to pee every 10 minutes. And that's what I did. And I kept going in and out of this water section. Oh, sorry, gotta pee. Come back. Sorry, got to go. And every time I'm thinking, if you had 2 hot dogs, everything would have been in balance and you'd have been fine. But no, had to just fill it with nothing but frothy beer, and then out it comes.
Yeah, that 2-to-1 ratio, that's key for you.
That's it. We need the ratio.
2-to-1.
It's all good. Good thing the chrome pants are,
Hey, don't talk about the chrome pants.
Oh, jeez.
All right, let's get to our match preview. Let's do it. And we'll begin with the sound. Let's go right to the sound, training ground sound. This comes from Singing Hills, fresh for Thursday, November 20th, whenever you consume it. This is when it came to us, and we'll start with the big boss, Mikey Varas.
We're joined by head coach Mikey Varas. Mikey, if we could just start off with the first question here. big matchup coming up against Minnesota, single elimination match. Kind of talk about the mentality going into this game and kind of how you see the group and preparation this week for that.
Yeah, we play another final together, and we love these moments. These are moments where you get to play with real pressure of finality, and you know that if you win, your season continues. And our objective right now is to make sure that coming off of the international window that we've changed that chip, and that we're the more prepared team.
Mikey, it's almost pretty much a 2-week break from your last game to this next one on Monday. What are the positives from having that kind of like rest with some players maybe getting back to being 100%, or what are some of the challenges as well from waiting 2 weeks for another match?
Yeah, we look at it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to get some guys recovered after a very physical first-round series. But also, we really believe in our training environment. So we also look at it as time to prepare for the game.
And then Anders Dreyer was sent back from Denmark due to an illness. Is he fully available for this next match on Monday, as well as Chucky Lozano, who left with an injury?
Yes.
When you have this much time to prepare for someone,
Clear as can be.
Yes, done.
Yes.
Yes.
Literally later, Chiva, that was thank you again, Chiva Nate, for being out there and being the troopers for today. And he asked them about Bombino, like, hey, you got this Bombino. How important was that? It was a no-brainer. Next.
Look, I mean, you can't say it's a rude answer. He literally answered the question. Yes, they're both
like it.
available.
Yeah, because it's true. It's like it's he's not thinking about it. He's not hesitating. He's just like, yeah, no brainer. Next, move on. Next question.
Was there anything else of import from our man Mikey?
Yeah, just talking about a little bit of the preview with Minnesota and their set pieces too, because I mean, that's
good.
Important.
Let's get
Go
into
back
it.
to LAFC.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer, I think.
There it is.
Are opponents known for being solid on set pieces like Minnesota? How much is that extra preparation to make sure you guys are defending set pieces at the top of your game?
Yeah, we're a club that prioritizes set pieces, defending and attacking anyways. So we've done it all season, but Minnesota also is. So it's definitely going to be one of the key components of this game, and we'll be prepared for it.
going back to Bombino, do you look at him and just kind of forget he's a teenager?
No, he's a teenager. I mean, I've had a lot of experience working with players of different ages, and I think I'm not surprised. Young guys with talent and who are super motivated. I think I said this when I was first hired. They'll always pleasantly surprise you, and he's just another example of that.
Of course, injury and illness, that all comes with the territory and it's normal. But when things happen like that to your two top players, does it kind of put in perspective how much of an asset they are? I know it's normal. But
yeah, we don't take anybody for granted. Here, it's everybody who's pulling in the same direction. And of course, the guys who are starters and play big minutes for you, of course, you never take them for granted. But we also don't overthink it because the international window comes and goes, and life's going to throw you what life throws you. And the most important thing is, of course, you can be hopeful and prepared for the best case scenario, but you got to be ready to deal with whatever life throws at you in any given moment. The good news is both of them are healthy and available, which is, for me, best case scenario.
Also added that, obviously after that pretty much questions divulged into, hey, Rain. But again, it's gonna be to the benefit of their play style to go ahead and play in a slick surface. What is it gonna be like if it's a slick, bumpy surface because of the San Diego State game? Mikey Vada said, we're gonna be prepared either way. For both scenarios, we're going to be ready. So no excuses, no excuses for Mikey Vadas coming up. It's they are prepared as can be for this Minnesota game. But yeah, rain.
There's no rain. We started the show with that.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
rain. Give me a break. All right, here comes Amal Pellegrino. He's tall. He scores. SDFC memes did a lovely find of the little birdie on the side of the cup that I was talking about.
Episode, yeah,
I love
great.
that short. It was tremendous. I'm like, thank you. You get me, man. You get me. You know what I was talking about. All right, here's Amal Pellegrino.
take it away.
How's the team feeling after passing the first round, going into the conference semifinals now. How's the team feeling just playing together, having the international players back again?
Good to see the guys that went for the national teams, and congrats to Hannibal for making the World Cup. And yeah, it's nice to see them again. And it has been boring almost 2 weeks now without playing games, so we're really looking forward for Monday. And Monday can't come fast enough. As a football player, this is the worst period when it's national break in between there. So now we're really looking forward for every day that's coming, and we have been training really good here. The guys have been home, and yeah, we're looking forward for the game.
Is a break like this more beneficial or more detrimental?
Oh, it can be both, but of course, it's not only on us. It's the same for Minnesota. So, but I think it's more like a mental thing to be on top of your game, and to really be on top of all the trainings we have. Because sometimes it can feel like you're not training for anything because it's 2 weeks for the game. But here in San Diego, it have the mentality, and the coaching staff is amazing to use like every day as a day to become a better player, a better team. So it's easy going over here.
You haven't played a whole lot of games at Snapdragon Stadium yet, but being able to have the playoffs, an elimination game in front of that crowd, I mean, just what is it like? What big a difference did it make?
The 2 games we had home in the playoffs was amazing. The stadium was on fire. It was electric, and I really loved it. And it was from the warm-ups, and you just feel like you almost are one more player on the field, and it helps us to have a crowd like that on your back. So really cool to play those kind of games on a full stadium, and the stadium will be full again. So we know that it will be crazy over there on Monday.
Great stuff from Amal Pellegrino. And, obviously, these guys have got to be going crazy. They're sick of hearing Mikey's voice. They're sick of doing all the different training. It's time to go play a match. It's interminable. It's the Super Bowl break, but you're not even at the Super Bowl. And now it's going to be, I think this is the important takeaway. This is a sprint from here on out. It's at most, it's going to be like 5 or 6 days between matches for the conference semifinal and the conference final. And if that's the case, then it's going to be less than a week until MLS Cup. And it'll be just that fast that you're going to be seeing this season be over with. And it's kind of wild because it's been going forever. I mean, honestly, it's been going forever. The first match was March 1st. But even at the same time, with these breaks, you feel like, oh, well, yeah, now we're coming back. And then, okay, this is the first game against Minnesota. And then no. This is it. And it's going to go 8-4-2 Cup in the span of less than 3 weeks.
Man, and it's really exciting. Yeah, it's great to see, hear Amal Pellegrino, because I believe him. He's ready to go. He's ready for this. For a guy that wasn't getting playing time, now he's pretty much a regular in this lineup, and yeah, he's ready to go. He's ready to face off against Minnesota, play the next team, and win this cup. So I really do. He's one of the guys that's ready for that sprint. I'm guessing the rest of the guys are ready for that sprint. So yeah, I think this team's ready for it.
Yeah, Pellegrino also, he likes taking his jabs at San Jose. He was like, yeah, no, I love playing here, and I feel like I'm given the opportunity to be free and be given an opportunity, a chance here, unlike elsewhere. But yeah, I mean, a good thing to hear there is that this is a united front and a united team. It's a brotherhood. Mentioning off the top too that he was so happy along with the team that Aníbal Godoy qualified for the World Cup. In talking about childhood dreams and aspirations of every single one of these players, making a World Cup is up there, and to come back and have your teammates on a club level as you're preparing for playoffs be as happy and proud of you for that is very, very rewarding for the player who made it. Really quick before we move off, but this is what happens when you ask him about the rain.
You like playing in the rain?
What?
Do you like playing in the rain?
Rain?
Yeah.
You know where I came from
Yes.
before? Yes. It's raining 350 days a year over there. So
Yeah, in Norway. So,
You know where I came from. That's beautiful.
These Scandinavians, they love the rain. They love this
Like, what are
thing.
you
Now they
talking
love that
about,
Portland.
rain?
Yeah, they love the Portland weather. Yeah.
It's crazy. Stick around next year, Amal. You'll be bitching about the rain. You'll be like, God, everyone gets in an accident. This is awful.
the
I
traffic.
can't stand it.
I just imagine him in traffic. He loves San Diego so much, just being in traffic with his family. Like, this is San Diego traffic, guys. Just enjoying every roll of the tire. Like, wow, enjoying the city, taking it in.
Ugh. He didn't try to get from La Mesa to Encinitas yesterday like I did. Hour and 40 from 8:10 to 9:50 to get there.
I just passed by right now here. My exit in the studio / old house garage is Coronado Avenue, as south as it gets on the 5. The line to cross the border is at Coronado Avenue.
Oh my.
Oh, boy.
So like,
Wow.
stay safe out there, people.
Let's wrap up with Luca Bombino and see what he says and if it's bombastic.
The pride within the back line, knowing that it's 3 rookies essentially starting for the most part every playoff game this season with you, Dua and Kilcher at the right back position?
Absolutely. I mean, defending is, I think pride is a key value of defending. As a fullback or a center back, your job is to make sure that the attackers have unlimited freedom to go forward, and you know that if they make a mistake, no worries, we have your back, So I don't think having a young back line defines us. I think what defines us is the pride we have in our defending.
Any more questions?
And that was just the end. I really like to start with that because it's talking about the fierce level that this kid has, and just having the brotherhood again of young lads next to him. And there's a little bit more, but like, that's a fighting spirit. That's somebody who's locked in, ready to go to fight whoever comes into Snapdragon Stadium.
No, that was tremendous. It had that young collegiate type, no, our pride is it's not in our youth, it's in our pride. I mean, that was awesome. As the kids would say, that was cinema. Okay. What else do we have?
It's been super exciting. I'm definitely grateful for the opportunity that San Diego has given me. It's been a whirlwind of a year, a lot of change, but a lot of success also, both on and off the field as a player, as a person. And I'm really grateful to the staff for the confidence they've given me. And, coming from a situation where the pathway wasn't super clear in LA, I mean, obviously I was very grateful for all the time and effort that they put into me as well. But I knew that the opportunity in San Diego was just so great. And I'm really happy with how it's gone so far, and I'm excited for more.
How special is it for you to play in a club that really believes in the youth, like SanDiego.FC is doing this season?
It's incredible. I mean, you can see not only with myself, but there are a lot of other young players that we've brought in that have proven themselves and shown what kind of impact they can make. And yeah, it's great to have, like I said before, the confidence from the coaches, the other players, and the fans as well. They know that age is just a number. If you can do it, what is required of you on the field, then you can do it. It's great. It's really fun.
At what point did you think this was for sure going to happen?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It was kind of, there wasn't one day where I was like, okay, this is definitely going to happen, but I was hoping it would, from the first week I got here, I could feel the energy of this place, and the competitive environment has pushed me to develop at a rate that I didn't, foresee. And it's like I said, it's so much fun to play here with the boys, and it's a really special group that we've got here, not just the players, but the staff as well. it's like one big family. So yeah.
I don't know what he told you, but Mikey just called the decision a no-brainer. What does that make you feel?
That makes me feel happy. Yeah, it feels good. Mikey and the whole coaching staff have really made my learning process feel incredibly smooth from day one. I was told, it doesn't matter if you make mistakes in training, like just keep working, keep putting your head down and grinding, and opportunities will come. And to play in a place like that is really special.
Luca Bombino saying age is just a number. You're telling me, son.
Oh man, he reminds me of like Jackson Merrill when he was like, we're bringing that young guy energy, and it was just him. But
yeah,
for San Diego FC, it's not just going to be Bombino. It's going to be him, Verhoeven, Mano Dua, and so on. Leo Duru and Pedro Soma. The list goes on. Like this is a real youth movement.
That's a future captain. Like if he stays long enough, like he's the captain of the kids in San Diego FC for sure. And the poise, the way he carries himself, and again, giving props to that coaching staff. And that's one thing that every single player always does and cannot be understated is how good this coaching staff has been at developing and helping the players find themselves. And that's an aspect that isn't really available in a lot of places and a lot of teams. It's, hey, you're going to have to play this. It doesn't matter. You don't matter. You're just a number and then go. And in this system, it's almost created to be that way. Hey, it's a system. You're just a number. You're just a player. But each player is played and thought of individually and how they can use their best skill set to benefit the group and then build on that. And so I think that's a really kind of top-down process of building a team where it's like, yeah, we have our strengths, we have our identities. Now, how is it unique based on the players that we have? And then also start molding that into what this now San Diego FC style has been this whole year.
Well, guys, that style will be on display Monday against Minnesota United FC. And if all goes to plan on both sides, San Diego will have the ball in the first half and will have plenty of opportunity to show what they're all about, because Minnesota United FC will play behind the ball. They will stay behind the ball. They will concede possession. They will let SDFC scramble around. They'll let the youth and the energy play itself out on the field. And if it goes the way of Chrome and Azul, a goal will fall in for San Diego FC in the first half, in the first 30 minutes. If it goes the way of Minnesota, the match will be scoreless at halftime. With us looking up at the scoreboard and seeing 68% or 64% possession and 11 shots and maybe 3 on goal and maybe 3 saves for St. Clair, Dane St. Clair, who is waiting in net and was not in net when SDFC went to Minnesota and won with 4 goals scored and with the Dreyer midfield chip and the rest of it. If it goes Minnesota's way, they're going to draw a foul in the 70th minute or so. And they're going to take a direct kick from maybe further out than most teams do, because they're looking for the second bang on the ball. They're not always necessarily looking to score. They're just looking to put the ball into a dangerous place that their club anticipates more than others. And if there's one player I think that everyone needs to keep their eye on, it's the center back for Minnesota United FC, Michael Boxall, because not only is it going to be he that's in the way of Anders Dreyer and Pellegrino and Baird early in the game and Chucky late in the game, and he's going to be the one that's trying to keep the scoring chances and the possession from turning into goals, but he is also MLS's preeminent long throw-in player. And no club in the world, according to the Guardian UK, which had the diagonal spreadsheet array thing. There's literally not a soccer playing Division I club in the world that utilizes more long throw-ins into the box than Minnesota United FC. Boxel into the box, throwing the ball in over and over and over again when they can. And they're just basically rolling the dice. They're just doing a math problem out there. How many times? There it is. See the outlier? There's the rest of the world. There's Minnesota United FC all the way to the high right. And their goal is hey, okay, yeah, it's a 2% chance. But if we throw the die 50 times, all of a sudden we've given ourselves enough opportunities that we might actually hit one. And while it's not 2%, you know what I'm saying? Like that's their idea is break the math by flooding the zone with set piece opportunities where they're probably not going to score in the run of play. Accept that. And if they do, it's really bad news for SDFC. But they kind of accept that and say our style is you keep the ball, we're going to get our chance, and we're going to make the most of it when we do.
Yeah, you made a lot of great points, Craig. And I got to say, like, right off the bat, this team is beatable. It's a beatable team. They were outscored 7-5 in this playoff series in round one. They didn't win in regulation. They haven't won a game. Well, they've won one game in 8 matches since they last played San Diego. And that included the 3 playoff games and a U.S. Open semifinal. And then the rest were regular season matches. So they haven't had a good run at trying to win in regulation. And also, in that last match that we saw, Dane Sinclair, he had the game of his life, 12 saves. And usually, a few of those should go in. And so it's going to be hard to replicate that type of performance again. So, yeah, and then watching these round one matches when I was watching Seattle play Minnesota, even when they were down, they still didn't want the ball. That was insane to me. Like, they don't care about having the ball at all. Like, they were down with 10 men on the field. They still did not want the ball. They countered attack. They set piece their way into a draw and won the game. And event Seattle and to another point, Seattle did tie that game. But this is what they do. They don't want the ball. And to counteract that, like you said, Craig, they want the ball. If they do get the ball, they want it in their half so they can do their set piece thing, get the long throw in. But you got to get there. You got to get to that half. And yeah, if San Diego plays their cards right, they got to prevent that from happening. They got to stop them pretty much at midfield and prevent that from happening. The other thing is, if there is a mistake, you have to fight your way out of it. Like we saw with in the last match, Anders Dreyer, gave one up. They went the other way and scored. I saw that again against Seattle, where it was a 2-on-1 situation, 2 defenders on one guy. They easily dispossessed the guy, and they scored the other way. We saw Minnesota light with Portland, and then this is the real test. This is the test right here, because they can score. Like, Minnesota can absolutely go the other way and score, like, really easily. So that's the threat. I believe they're if you try to get your 20, 25 shots off, you should be able to score 3. You should be able to score on this team. And I think on the bright side, and something you said just a few minutes ago, Craig, you don't want to see that 0-0 at halftime, but I kind of figured that that's going to be the case. What you do want to see is what we saw in that last home match with Jeppe Verskov. He scored in the final 15 minutes in stoppage time to prevent a clean sheet. What happened in that last match against Seattle? They scored in the last 15 minutes. This team somehow, some way has been scored on in the last 15 minutes too. So that could be their breaking point, that they can't reach the 90th minute, worn down, tired, and then they give up an easy one. So there's a little bit of hope that if it is 0-0, 1-1, or you're down a goal, you can tie it up in the final few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, if this is, two just veteran fighters that have gone through a whole season and in their own particular style, you're putting them in a cage in a UFC style match, right? You have San Diego FC who has that discipline of counterattack, and they can be a counter puncher. They can go ahead and control the pace, control the tempo. But then you have Minnesota, who walks into the octagon and sees you preparing, but then they just go on their back because they're the jiu-jitsu person, and they're waiting for you, and they're laying on the back of the mat like an upside down turtle. And as soon as you give in, boom, they're going to get you and grapple you. Don't go ahead and give that opportunity. Also, if whatever offense you're presenting, if you're San Diego FC, and it's just not working because you have a damn good goalkeeper in Dane St. Clair, you have a darn good defense, you have a good midfield that can supplement that defense, and it takes one or two mistakes to get a counterattack from Minnesota. In those moments, you need to be completely zen, be completely focused, and not give into that frustration. I'm looking at if Chucky Lozano does come onto that second half and they need a goal, the last thing this team needs is for the team to feed off of a frustrating save that Dane St. Clair does, or a miss, and then that's where that just kind of goes by the wayward side. And just this team has what they need to go ahead and do. They have the identity. They've been able to maintain their composure and poise this entire season. It would surprise me if they just decide to do that here now for San Diego FC. But if they stick to their identity, I agree with you, Alex. They are very beatable. This is a very beatable team, but also this is the perfect complement in styles that Minnesota is facing in San Diego FC.
You nailed it. I was asked on one of my media appearances weeks ago, what's the club you're worried about in the Western Conference? And my answer was Minnesota. And it wasn't LAFC and it wasn't Vancouver. It was Minnesota, because it's styles make fights, and they've got the counter to our strategy, and they are a specific counter to our strategy. So I believe, just like the two of you, that San Diego FC can absolutely win this match and should beat the Loons and go to the conference final. They should. But they're going to have to play one of their most disciplined games of the entire year. This has to be disciplined pressure, disciplined attack. You can't get froggy. And I know we said that to some extent with Portland, but Alex just said it. Portland was Minnesota light. This is the real deal. This is a team that will turn a play on 3 passes. And Alex had one of those highlights in his Substack preview where it was one dispossession, pass forward, touch, and a goal.
Quick.
I mean, it was literally like 6 seconds and the ball's in the back of the net. And you go, what? What happened? That's what they'll do. So this club has to be on their P's and Q's. And what scares you about that is the idea that it's tied late and we're waiting for Alex's late goal, and maybe it does come. But if it doesn't come, at least there is extra time here. And that could work in San Diego's favor in a great way. If there was just a brick wall into pens again, what Minnesota would do. You know what they'd do from the first minute. They'd just be like, conserve energy. We're going to save it all. We're going to get to the end, and we're going to beat them in pens, and Dane's going to lead the way. And I'd be petrified if this game went to penalties. You'd have to say Minnesota had a major advantage if this game gets to penalties. But Alex made the best point, I think, of it all. The end is where Minnesota is going to have trouble, because it's always been told to me in every sport, it's harder to defend physically than it is to attack, because it is reaction as opposed to action. And that action of reaction is exhausting So let's hope that SDFC gets one in the first half hour, screws the Loons strategy completely to hell, puts them absolutely up in their domes, makes them change things, makes them make a sub at the half, get them off their game. SDFC wins this one 3-1, 3 or 4-1. But if somehow they get the quick counter and they get to play with the lead, then it's going to be chipping against a wall for the entire match and hoping that you wear that wall down and find a weak spot at the end and maybe win it in extra time. I mean, I think that's another game flow path that SDFC can use to win the game. Minnesota style, we already described it. It's obvious. They want to screw you up, get that set, just like they did beating us. Just like they did beating us 3-1. We dominated that match for 68 minutes. Then they get the first set piece, and they get the oh my God, it's 2-0. What just happened? And they're laughing. So that's their path. I think their path is narrower. I think we have more avenues within our path.
Yeah, and I think it's funny. I didn't even look it up, but I remember the saying in the first Minnesota preview at home that I wonder if Mikey Varas was going to change his tactics a little bit and try to send crosses in, use the fullbacks. That's what I thought was going to happen. But on that goal to Yepe, it was actually a cross from Chucky Lozano on the right side and not the left side, on the right side. And that's the way they were able to score the goal. And I do wonder if Luca Bombino is going to be has to push up a little bit. But all that means is if Minnesota gets the ball, he's going to have to, do a dash straight back to go and defend. Which is going to be tough, but I think you kind of have to risk it. And to get a goal early, goal early would really put the odds to our favor, because Minnesota in the regular season have only won one game when they were behind at half. So they're 1-1-4. Last game against Seattle, they were behind at the half, and they were only able to tie. So they were ahead, but they lost the lead and they still won in penalties. So I think, if we do get that early goal, our chances of winning is going to be pretty high.
Do it for the city. The city deserves this, man. It's something that, again, this is a team that's doing something special right now, and they have a chance. They have a chance, and I think that tune, that metronome of sports in San Diego is ticking a little different with San Diego FC, and this is a real test. This is a real test, and if at the end of it you are able to lift up silverware, this is going to be a game that people are going to remember as far as you didn't just go and play these teams that sometimes you're undeserving to make a championship. No, you went through the gauntlet as an inaugural team, and you did it the hardest way possible. And here you are. And this is how they've been able to make it to a Western Conference semifinal against Minnesota United. You got to beat the best to be the best. And right now, Minnesota's looking up at the best in San Diego. So we'll see what happens here up on Monday.
There it is, your preview for Monday Night Football at Snapdragon Stadium. We'll be back with a post-match show, of course, and all of the joy that can possibly come out of this one. What time is the kickoff on Monday?
6:30.
Yeah, kickoff is going to be over at, I do believe,
7.
7. Yeah,
7 o'clock.
Okay, that's
true
fine.
Monday night style. Right
there you go. All right, we're ready for it. We'll be back when it's done. Win, lose, there's no draw.
Don't draw.
Stay home or go home are the options. Do you get to stay home or do you have to go home? That's what we'll find out, and we'll be there Monday night to talk about it all. Thank you for getting to the end of episode 24 of the Chromaniacs and for all of your support throughout. Tony, let everybody know what's going on with the preeminent independent source of soccer journalism in San Diego.
I love it, man. I mean, I support independent unions, independent journalism, all about the independent scene here in soccer. Check it out, SanDiego.Futbol. That's the entirety of that press match, post-match, pre-match, press availability. Even Bombino had a little blooper moment in the minute. He was talking, and then he went back and started talking again and rehashing it. It was really fun. Check it out, SanDiego.Futbol. 2 balls and a mic on Monday. Special time, 5 to 6 p.m. because we're doing it live from within Snapdragon Stadium.
Pre-game show.
Pre-game, right in that little area to go into the press box, Craig. You know, people are popping by. Who knows who might stop by? We'll see if we can get a couple of voices from the club as they're going in. So Monday, 5 to 6 p.m. pre-game at Snapdragon Stadium.
And yeah, you guys are doing it live. That sounds great, man. I can't wait to tune in. And yeah, you could catch me on Chromatic FC on Substack. I wrote a little preview for this. And then, yeah, more stuff to come. You know, whatever happens on Monday, hopefully another win. You get a recap. You get more stuff on the team.
I will not be watching, Tony, because I'll be at the tailgate. So, I mean, since it's hard. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's really noisy, and at that particular time, kind of smelly in the purple lot sometimes. I'd like to promote that the San Diego soccer season begins on Black Friday, Friday, November 28th. And last night, Tony and I recorded and put up season 8, episode 2 of our soccer's show, Soccer's Overtime, which is also a production of SanDiego.Futbol. Check that out. And if you happen to be a SDFC supporter, there's a unique supporters experience available at Front Wave Arena in Oceanside. Find out more. Go into your particular Discord. Check out Papi Chavo or drop me a message, and we'll be able to maybe set you up for Section 119 at Front Wave Arena. Of course, Padres Hot Tub continues apace, and I invite you to follow us on Instagram at the Chromaniacs. For Tony Sanchez, Alex Pena, I'm Craig Elston. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. And until they kick it off on Monday night, vamos, SDFC.